Welcome to day 34 of these 40 days of stewardship. And this week we are talking about the stewardship principle of work. In the 1930s, America went through what was called the Great Depression. In 2007, we experienced the Great Recession. And right now, we are going through a labor shortage that a lot of economists are calling the Great Resignation. People are leaving their jobs, and a lot of people are not returning to work. And we've experienced this. You go into the grocery store and the shelves are inconsistently stocked. Restaurants are struggling to stay open because they don't have enough servers. You go to some of your favorite businesses and there's just not people there. We've seen the supply chain choked. A lot of things begin to happen when people are unwilling to work. But apparently the Great Resignation is nothing new. In 2 Thessalonians, Paul addressed a group of people who were unwilling to work. So what does the Bible say when someone is able-bodied but unwilling to contribute through labor? Listen to 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verses 10 and 11. It says, "For even when we were with you, we would give you this command. If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. For we hear that some among you walk in idleness, not busy at work, but busybodies." Three ideas that we glean from that passage about a person who is able-bodied but unwilling to work. First of all, they're disobedient to God. God has purposed us to work. He wants us to carry on the work of His creation. We are to make the garden grow. And when a person doesn't use their ability to contribute to society, they become lazy in everything else, and that displeases God. Second principle we glean is this: an unwillingness to work rebels against God's design for provision. God designed the world to be fruitful, but we need to work the ground to bring out the produce of it, to provide for ourselves and also for our family and for others who are in poverty, who have fallen into deficit. And whenever we don't work to provide, we undercut that system of labor that God has put in place for us to be contributors. So Paul simply said it like this: when a person is able-bodied but unwilling to work, the church is under no obligation to provide for a person like that. Matter of fact, you become an enabler to their laziness. And Paul told us that it's disobedient to God if we enable the lazy to continue to do so. And then the last principle is a person who is able-bodied but unwilling to work becomes a busybody. That means they become involved in things that are of no value. Man, they may get involved in your business, but one of the things that we see more than anything is just people wasting time on their phones and on video games. They're just sitting around doing nothing but wanting others to work and contribute to their laziness. And Paul said, we don't need to encourage that kind of behavior. Don't let them do it. Don't let them become a strain to the system. They need to feel the pain of their laziness and be motivated to get back to work. So here's the action step for today. If you've stopped working, it's time to get back to work. We need to be contributors. We need to align with God's purpose for our life. We need to be laborers who are multiplying the creation as good stewards. It's the way God wants to provide for you. The other thing that I would encourage you with this is if there's someone in your life who is not working, don't contribute to their idleness. You need to encourage that person to get back to work. So let's be laborers today. Let's be contributors today. Let's align for God's purpose to our life as good stewards. One of the ways that we have resources and we multiply resources is we get to work.